The scene sets a chilling tone right as the clock strikes 12. A thick, unnatural fog rolls over the deserted tracks, cutting off all moonlight. Suddenly, the screeching sound of iron wheels echoes through the dark as the rusted ghost train roars into the station. The windows are caked in grime, but looking closely, you can see the faint, terrifying shapes of stacked wooden coffins filling the carriages, completely blocking out the interior light. The true terror begins as the train violently screeches to a sudden halt. The sheer force of the stop causes the decaying ropes inside to snap, sending several heavy wooden coffins crashing onto the floor. The rotting wood splinters open, and all at once, pale, glowing-eyed zombies begin to claw their way out of the boxes. They break through the train's glass windows and doors with feral hunger, pouring out onto the platform in a frantic, terrifying stampede. The final moments are pure adrenaline. The few remaining survivors on the platform find themselves completely cornered as the undead army swarms from every car. Guns flare in the dark, sparks fly off the metal train tracks, and it is a mad dash for survival as characters leap over discarded luggage and sprint toward the exit gates just as the ghost train's horn lets out one last deafening, demonic wail.
With the platform completely overrun, the remaining survivors make a desperate, split-second decision to leap back onto the train, kicking their way into the narrow corridor of the rear passenger car. They slam the heavy iron door shut just as a dozen decaying hands smash against the reinforced glass. Out of options, the group realizes their only hope of stopping this nightmare is to fight their way forward, car by car, to reach the locomotive's engine room and pull the emergency brake. Stepping into the next carriage, the air turns freezing cold and smells of ancient dust. This car is a literal maze, packed tightly from floor to ceiling with oversized, chain-wrapped coffins. The train violently sways as it rounds a sharp mountain curve, causing the heavy wooden boxes to slide and shift, nearly crushing a survivor against the wall. From inside the walls of the coffins, a rhythmic, terrifying scratching sound begins to build, echoing louder and louder with every tick of the clock. The scratching abruptly stops, replaced by a deafening silence before the lids of the chained coffins begin to violently burst open from the inside out. Shards of rusted metal and splinters of wood fly through the narrow hallway like shrapnel. Grotesque, uniform-wearing zombie soldiers from a bygone era step out of the shadows, their hollow sockets locked onto the living. The narrow aisle leaves zero room to dodge, forcing an immediate, point-blank firefight. Fleeing the soldier ghouls, the survivors crash through the doors of the luxury dining car, only to find it transformed into a surreal, macabre banquet. Dozens of elegant, finely dressed undead turn their heads in perfect unison, abandoning their rotten feast to unleash a collective, blood-curdling shriek. The scene erupts into total chaos as survivors flip mahogany tables to form makeshift barricades, throwing shattered wine bottles and heavy silver platters to keep the charging horde at bay. Cornered once again, the protagonist kicks open a ceiling hatch and climbs out onto the roof of the speeding train. The midnight wind howls at a deafening volume, and freezing rain slashes against their face as the train roars over a massive, unstable suspension bridge. The danger doubles as several agile, fast-moving zombies claw their way up the sides of the car, forcing a brutal, high-stakes fistfight on top of the slick, metallic rooftop where one wrong step means falling into the rocky abyss below. After narrowly throwing the last roof ghoul off the tracks, the protagonist drops down into the blindingly hot, glowing red boiler room of the locomotive. The demonic conductor, a towering, skeletal entity fused with the machinery itself, stands at the helm, shoving glowing, supernatural coal into the furnace to push the train past its breaking point. To save the town ahead, the protagonist engages in a final, frantic struggle against the entity, dodging heavy iron pipes and bursts of scalding steam. With a final burst of strength, the protagonist jams a heavy steel crowbar directly into the main gear assembly, completely locking up the wheels. Sparks explode in a massive, blinding sheet of fire as the ghost train screams in mechanical agony. The front engine flips off the tracks, dragging the zombie-filled cars and caskets behind it into a spectacular, rolling derailment that lights up the dark midnight sky, leaving only burning wreckage and a tense, smoke-filled silence.